Hey everyone, my name is Valdrin and I'm the senior analyst for BeInCrypto. So apologies for the delay, but I think neither Konstantin nor Ankit will be joining us today, so I'll just do this solo, I guess. And so today we're going to talk about the Bitcoin dominance rate and altcoins. So basically, if you're familiar with a Bitcoin dominance rate, it basically just means what percentage of the market does Bitcoin have and what do altcoins have. Okay, so Ankit just joined us. So hey Ankit, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How about you?
Yeah, I'm great, thanks. So yeah, basically like we'll start with the usual format. So I'll just share my screen. So just a second, sorry. Here it is. Okay, so yeah, Bitcoin dominance rate. Basically, it's hovering above this support area here. And to be honest, I'm still bear. I mean, there are like some conflicting signs. So if you look at this, it kind of does look bullish. We had this deviation. We also had some bullish divergence here. But I mean, you can count the divergence two ways. If you do it like this, which is this one, right, then it means that the price actually broke down from the RSI and is now actually retesting the line as resistance. So basically this one right here. So this is the bearish side. And I mean the bullish, I don't really like counting the divergence like this because you're just going right through the price. But then again, it does look um, it still does look bullish on the monthly actually. I mean, we have a more regular bullish divergence on the monthly. Now, these divergences aren't nothing to be trifled with, to be honest, especially when we do have them at such long time frames. So I don't know. I guess I'm kind of moving even bullish toward the Bitcoin dominance rate, but it's at a crucial level right now for two main reasons. So here they are. Basically, the first one is that so the dominance rate is right at the 0.618 fib, right? So this is a level which very often initiates reversals, and the daily RSI is heavily overbought. So the last time it was this overbought was here, right? And then the previous time was here and here. And even though we had the upward movement here, we did have a massive drop initially. So yeah, I don't like the fact that it's such overbought. So I guess it really depends on the reaction from this level. And if we look at the daily, it's actually nearly at an all-time high. Let me just slightly clearer. So yeah, the only times it was higher besides 2019 was October 220 and December 220, which is basically here and here. So this kind of has me leaning on the Bitcoin dominance rate still being bearish. But yeah, like I said, it really depends on the reaction here. And now I wanna sorry, I wanna look at the correlation with of the Bitcoin dominance rate to Bitcoin. So basically, what the correlation does is that it shows the type of relation that the Bitcoin price and the Bitcoin dominance rate have, right? And by that, I mean whether they have a positive or whether they have a negative relationship. Now, zero means that they don't have a relationship. -1 means that they have a perfect negative relationship, and +1 means that they have a perfect positive relationship. And now they've had a perfect positive relationship for the past 2 weeks. So what this means is that an increase in the Bitcoin price causes an increase on the Bitcoin dominance rate. So yeah, I mean, that's what's going on. So Bitcoin has this massive upward movement, and so does the Bitcoin dominance rate. And now this actually has me leaning on a decrease, just because I think Bitcoin is likely to correct. And okay, so I'll do Bitcoin next, and then I'll move to some altcoins and Ethereum Bitcoin. But yeah, not that, sorry. Here it is. So Bitcoin, I'll remove the correlation. I'll even remove the counts and I'll go back to them. So once we look at the daily time frame here, basically what we're seeing is after the breakout, we have this ongoing bearish divergence, which is in the heavily overbought territory of the RSI. And if the RSI drops above 70, to me, it would just confirm that we're actually reversing. And yes, so I do think it's likely that Bitcoin falls to about 21K, I guess. And then eventually it continues this upward movement. So I'm still heavily bullish on Bitcoin. I just think that the initial retracement is likely before eventually the upward movement resumes. And I guess you can also see it in the count, since I mean, I think we do have this sort of very heavily extended third wave. So like this. And so basically we'll crash and then we'll do another upward movement. Now, someone asked me in the group about my long-term outlook for Bitcoin, so I'll just do that. And then I'll pass it on to Ankit. And yes, so I'm pretty bullish long-term because we have this bullish divergence on the weekly here. And also we broke out from the original trend line and then moved above 50. So all of these to me are pretty bullish signs. And honestly, there isn't like that much resistance if you just look at if you go just by horizontal levels. I mean, there's some resistance here. I guess there's some at 30K. And I don't know, like this area here has been tapped, like it did act as support, then the price broke down. Sure, it could act as resistance on the way up, but I think there's less liquidity there and probably more liquidity here if the price were to get there. But again, this is a way long time from now. Now, the only thing which kind of worries me is like this move here. It looks like a ABC. So basically what that would mean is that what follows isn't a bullish reversal, but likely a C wave. And what I mean by that is this. So we'd have something like this and then another drop. And what would be the ratios for that? So, I mean, we are above 1.1, I think. Yes. So, yeah, that would go to like 27, 27.6. I mean, if it gets really crazy, it could go to like 35, but then we'd get another crash, and that would be like bad. And even if we look at, but that's the only, honestly, the only bearish alternative that I can see right now. While weekly doesn't look that bad. I mean, not weekly, but if we, not like that, sorry. So yeah, it looks like we kind of tested this level and not the regular, sorry. Even if you do the regular chart, like basically broke out from the channel, kind of retested it here. I think it's more like the midline if you do the log chart. closer, but yeah, we even have this. I mean, I think it's a breakout now, and even if you look at the, I mean, it's definitely a breakout in the regular chart, and even the retest here. So again, if you look at the downward movement from the all-time high, like we have barely retraced. So yeah, this would say that we go at least to like 36K, but I don't know about that yet. But yeah, so basically I'm pretty bullish on Bitcoin on like the longer term. But yeah, I think at the very absolute least we go to like 27, 28K and then like I'll revisit. But as of right now, I'm pretty bullish. So yeah, it took way too much time, so I'll just pass it on to Ankit now.
Yes, I guess you can see my screen now. So, what I think about BTC dominance is that if I take this range on the 3-day time frame, which I have drawn from 27th of July in 21 to 13th of Jan last year, I think we got a false breakdown here after a false breakout here, and it's right above the mid of the range here, but it's kind of conflicting here to me also, but because there is a resistance level right in the middle of the zone here, and the RSI bullish divergence, I don't really think it is too much. It's 27.38 here at this 26.74 here at the lowest, and if I take that, it's 27.72. So it's not a very big of a difference here in the RSI, and I don't think it really matters. And even if I am taking it this way, only taking about the lows and not taking like uh, something like this, which Valdrin has just mentioned. So even if I take that, I don't think it really matters. So it's just a conflicting pattern to me that I can't be very, very bullish on this because there is a resistance level here. But I think if this resistance level is broken here at around 45%, if it increases here, and it can still rise because BTC is on the rise, but like on the daily chart, BTC is looking like this. The resistance level has been tested over here yesterday, but I think I'll be looking for some correction if this 22.5K level breaks. So BTC dominance, I'm not very sure about that if it is going to rise or not, but since it's a very conflicting pattern. Alts, on the other hand, I think on the weekly time frame, I think I'm taking the crypto market cap excluding BTC and ETH, so just alts. I think this has broken out of a trendline resistance at the weekly chart, and it has reclaimed above a level of resistance, which was support here. So I think this has been reclaimed here. So I think the alts can still continue to rise as they're rising now, but they obviously will have some correction if BTC chooses to take some correction after maybe touching somewhere around 25, 24.5 or 25K level, which is this, the high of this level, or maybe or if it just wants to wick above this, above, I mean, above this level. Uh, yes, these wicks, if BTC is able to take out these wicks, the highs here, and if BTC wicks above this level and just crashes from here, I think it is entirely possible because there will be a lot of stop loss placement of people here also. So I think it can grab some liquidity from here and uh, decide to crash from there. So that is entirely possible for BTC to do, and alts will follow the suit. So I think that can be a scenario here. My views on BTC are still always have been bullish because this range has been reclaimed and it is still trading up this high of this range. So I think I am very bullish on BTC right now, but I expect some correction because it's a very it's growing bearish divergence here at a time frame is very evident, which Warren has already talked about. So I think this can be taking a correction because BTC's rise has been just like stepping the steps and just rising of the resistance is clearing it by very good volumes. So I think there is some correction that is needed to come in BTC to for maybe a healthy correction. I think a healthy correction is very much required, and the weekly chart is always has been bullish after this weekly resistance was broken out, and I think the lower high pattern of lower yes, the lower high pattern of BTC has also been broken since this high was broken by BTC the last week's close. So I think it is pretty bullish to me. So even if it tests this area around 19 or 20k, it's around yes, it's 21k. I think that will be a pretty bullish development for me. I'll look to buy at that level because I'll be trusting it as support. And for that rise, for if we just hold that support, which we should, I think this is the area which I am looking to target for short term. But the long term targets are above this level, 31, 32k. If that one is reclaimed, then I will be okay. That yeah, its bull run has already started because all of this is looking like this area is looking like just a deviation to me, just deviation below the support level here at the weekly level, at this level which was talked about on the open channel also, and many analysts have spoken about this level which BTC had broken down from. So after this has been reclaimed, I think this all turns into just a big deviation. So I think I'm pretty bullish on BTC alt market. But yes, the one thing more I want to share about this market cap thing. Now, this also looks to me like a rising wedge, which can lead to some correction in alts. So I think things are pointing that BTC might correct something, correct lower, and alts might follow the suit, and the market cap can drop, but not by a lot because I don't want the crypto to go down. But yeah, I think as long as this support holds for coin market cap, exclude for the alts, I think we are bullish. And yeah, BTC is, I expect some correction in BTC towards 21 or 21k level, but I think the confirmation will be on the daily. If it closes below 22.5k, which will be the close within a range, then I think correction could come towards 21k and 20k level, probably to the mid range. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, thanks for that, Ankit. Yeah, I mean, so I guess we have really similar thoughts right now in what's going on. Sure, I'll try more volume. And now next, okay, so I'll share my screen again. I want to talk about the at Bitcoin chart, which I mean, obviously, since Ethereum is the largest altcoin by market cap, its movement is very heavily affects the Bitcoin dominance rate. Now, honestly, I was extremely bullish on this, but I'm not so much right now because I really don't like the most recent movement. So we still have this breakout here, but I mean, we have two deviations right now. And like this failed to break through now. I know that the area has been tested a lot of times, but I know like we guess we kind of have to wait and see on this one. I think in the short term, it most definitely drops a little bit more to like here, I guess. And then I know maybe it can probably continue its upward movement. So maybe this will be like sort of an A. Then we'd have a B. I think this works better with this being. But yeah, I think basically we correct a little more. Worst case scenario drop to here, but then we'll see because the RSI is getting extremely oversold here. So yeah, we will wait and see on that. But I know like Bitcoin has barely corrected since the upward movement began, but some alts look pretty good. And also I had a question on AVAX on the group, so I'll do that. Honestly, AVAX or AVAX, I'm not sure how you say that. Looks pretty good to me. Again, like these massive divergences on the weekly should definitely not be ignored. And what I basically like about AVAX is that, I mean, first resistance is here, right? It's at about 28.9. So even if it only gets until there should be like a 40 something percent, 40%. And then there's like no resistance basically. Like in the weekly, maybe there's a resistance at like 65. And there's obviously resistance here, but like, these are basically what I'm seeing is that there is very low resistance above the price if we do get a current breakout. So yeah, I think we should wait and see after Bitcoin corrects what happens. But I think for lots of altcoins, and AVAX is one of them, the next correction is somewhere where you can load up, because like honestly to me this is pretty clearly 5-wave upward movement. So like 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Honestly, maybe we do get another one here, so like here, and then we will probably correct. But now what this makes likely to me is that even like if we go in the longer term, like even if the entire move is still corrective, we'd still have something like this, right? And then we'd crash. So this would be the bearish scenario. And obviously, like from a bullish perspective, I really love this, because even on the bearish scenario, you'd expect a pretty decent upward movement, while obviously in the bullish scenario, we'd go like new highs. But yeah, AVAX is one of the alts that I'm liking the most. Then we got Ocean and Phantom. I think we did both last time, but yeah, I won't go into more detail on them since like today was more about the Bitcoin dominance rate. But yeah, I'll pass it on Kit, and then if we have any more questions, or if not, I guess that was it for today. We have.
Yeah, I think there was a question about Solana in the group today. If you can see my screen. So I have shared about this coin earlier also, but okay, so I am answering it again. But there was a deviation below the previous range which I had on Solana when Vitalik's tweet basically saved Solana there. The lower ones were these support levels from where Solana had risen up, but currently it is on a 3-day time frame. It is currently at a very, very good resistance level, which I think it is a very, very strong resistance level right now. And the previous range was this one. So I guess 25.8 or around 27K, around $27 level is the one which Solana needs to be break out of and needs to conquer. And I think then we'll consider another further rise into this. But the RSI is currently uh, in the overbought region, and there is a very heavy bearish divergence. So I guess a drop is also equally expected, and I can even draw some kind of a rising wedge here. So I think, which is a bearish pattern on the daily. So I think a drop, maybe some kind of a flash dip, and probably a something like this, a reclaim. So this will be the bullish trigger for me. At least my trading setup allows that this bearish divergence is broken through, and if this bearish divergence is broken through and price reclaims the level, reclaims this level 25.7k, $25.7 level, I think that will be a very good development in the price for Solana. Then, but before that, I am not very confident at buying it here. So, if there are any other questions which you want me to answer, I'll look into that. I guess we are not getting any questions.
Yeah. So, because that was the session for today, so thanks a lot to everyone that joined, and yeah, we will see you next week. Bye and have a nice day.
Yeah.